showcase on our network, from quality music video, crusade and outreach activities, movies, comedies and African drama, interview and special feature, baby shower, engagement, weddings, and a whole lot more. We are into business promotion. Join our network and do business with us today as we add value to your mobile devices, online and on your TV set. Don't forget to join us for our Real Gospel Hour, Real Gospel Talk with pastors from all around, and our powerful confident prayer time. It's Voice TV Africa, showing the rest of the world of Africa you don't know. Voice TV Africa, proudly African. Voice TV Africa, the station that blesses your soul.
Aye papa, aye mama, oh, aye papa, you better go and tell Nelly for Nelly to change your way. Oh. Everything she keep doing to me, they are ready to be her. I'm a freeborn of Liberia, nobody will do me no harm. People, people. This time we may work for nothing, my people, as I'm telling you. Even those from the country, they are western, they say take them from country, bring them in town for you to make them look good. Basle papora for the chica to lead it to. Basle papora for the chica to lead it to. Return why I to say you call roll from monkey with me, and I do. Son, they can't and I do.
Where you are muted, so you want to unmute yourself so we can. So let me hear you, bro. What's up, my man? You are muted, my man. Don't come bring. Don't come thing here again. Get ready, you are muted. What are you talking? This phone drop. And I'm here acting like. See my phone for now. Yes. Kira, you are muted. I'm not hearing you. Please. What's this? Why is it
my colleague Eric Obadu? Let me see if I can join Eric now on the show. Good evening, Eric. Are you hearing me? What's happening here tonight? Eric, good evening. Are you hearing me? Eric, are you there? Good evening, Eric. Are you hearing me? I don't know. So let me go for this music again.
Liberia, it's your day. It's time to party. This is real fame. Doing it for y'all. I am proud to be a Liberian, and I don't care what anybody go say. I will jump and sing and shout hooray, 'cause today is our Independence Day. Liberia, oh our day. Liberia, we are free. Liberia, number one. Liberia, Liberia, our day. Liberia, we are free. 'Cause today is our day. Liberia now my country, now my motherland. Land I be where them bomb me. That's why I started the hustling. So if you don't know me, don't judge me. We don't want gunshots, we don't want po-po. All we want is equal rights and peace to make our dough. Hey, yeah. Liberate you and me, liberate me and you. Let's live in harmony and peace who prevail. Do what is right and good and take our children back to school. Hard work and determination and we will fail. Economically, strategically, physically, we can make a difference automatically. Let's live in unity, all for one and one for all. I'm proud to be a Liberian, and I don't care what anybody go say. I will jump and sing and shout hooray, 'cause today is our Independence Day. capable of doing wrong. All we have to do is join hands and sing this song. We are free, Liberia, we are free. Oh, no more war, forever we are free. When time when we are, oh man, baby, and if we get narrative, fire to mapa, remember, Bombaga, are you ready? Bombaga, are you ready? Independence Day, jump and shout to it. Screwface where we are. I am proud to be a Liberian, and I don't care what anybody will say. I will jump and sing and shout to it, 'cause today is our Independence Day. Liberia, oh our day. Liberia, we are free. Liberia, no more war. Liberia, Liberia, our day. Liberia, we are free. Today is our day. My people, today is your day. It's time to party. You know, time to shake that stress off. Forget about the past. It's dead and gone. Now sing with me. Let's go. Say whoa, whoa, say whoa, whoa, yeah, 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 yeah. Say boo, 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 boo. Okay. When I say screw, you say face. Screw, face, screw, face. When I say screw, you say face. Screw, face, screw, face. I tell you, Liberia, Liberia, say Liberia, Liberia, Monrovia, 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 pimpini, 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 pimpini. That's what I'm talking about. Liberia, it's your day. Jump up, hey, put on samba, hey, put on samba, hey, hey, put on samba, hey, hey, put on samba, hey. Now what's your body? Shake your body, shake your body. Now shake your body, shake your body. Ade, so bend down, oh, Liberia, bend down, oh, bend down, oh, Liberia, bend down, oh, say put your hands up, hemba, put your hands up, hemba, hemba. This is Crew and the Fits, Ade, Liberia, oh, our day, Liberia, we are free, Liberia, no more war, Liberia.
Oh yes, indeed, we are free. No more war. Liberia, today is the Independence Day. That's the song, man. I'd like to say good evening once again. It's wonderful being here tonight, and as we said today, a lot of things have been happening in the country, but River says our county is in news. I don't know, but we want to discuss this. So yeah, like we said, you know, when we come on this show and we make a promise and say, this is what we're going to do, we are going to follow up this information and make sure come back to the public and let you know what it is. We have to do that. So we were here on Monday and we talked about an alleged, act of trial by ordeal. It was alleged at the time because, I mean, we didn't know what was happening. So my colleagues Gabriel and Joycelyn were like, hey, we have to leave this as it is so we can follow it up. So yes, we actually left it as it was. And yesterday was Tuesday, we went there and we followed the entire situation. Those of you who follow us on Facebook, we did a live. It was not easy, but we had to do that. And you saw exactly what happened. So if you are following us on this show via social media, you can just slow down a little bit. You're going to see the entire episode. And then you go to the comment section and let's know what you think. But we are here today, man. Gabriel, what's up, my man?
Good evening, Eric. And let me say good evening to all of our listeners and social media viewers following us the internet, and thanks to our partner in the US, Voice TV Africa, for always screening our show. We really appreciate what they're doing for us. Good evening to all of those who follow the show on both social media and the radio. And let me say to you, welcome to the evening conversation. I'll put it that way. And we are happy to have you. We don't have all of the knowledge you have, so it is because of you we are here. So please keep tuned with this show tonight, and we really appreciate you following the show. And we also appreciate your efforts by always calling. To those who always call on the show, those who always comment on our social media posts, please keep your comments coming in, because it is the reason we are here. Without you, we'll not sit in the studio, we'll not burn the data, we'll not look for the money to make sure we're always on the show. Running the show is very, very expensive than any other thing. But we have to do that. Yesterday, Eric has to spend huge sum of money to come from Yapa Town, to come way to Cesar City to come and do a coverage. I spent a few times there yesterday. I would be afraid. I was afraid yesterday.
You got me afraid, my man. When you say, oh, when you passing, they will just grab people randomly. So I was kind of afraid. But then later I said, look, let me go down there, man. You catch me and say, oh, by the way, I say, oh, get the hell out of here, and then I'm done with it. So yeah.
Interestingly, yesterday, I was in the feed, so I came from Looking Town Way. So while I was coming back from your end, back to Cesar City, coming back on base, I saw the road is being crowded up at the cotton tree there, and the boss was like, nobody can pass and all this. I said, but why reason is the one black the road? He said the other one of the guys said, oh, if you pass there, they will find you. I said, okay, but then if somebody just passing from me, if I finish hitting them with a monoba, because I was like tired, very, very tired already then. So I just passed through and went around Mr. Wilson Nimlin house, stopped the bar. Stood there a few minutes, and later on I was with my elder brother. He said, but let's wait and see what will happen. I said, no. I'm a bit scared and a bit tired, so I have to go. And later on I started following your live screening of the event. And thanks to the traditional leaders for also accommodating the media so that the public will get a glimpse of basically what happens there. Despite some of us having less than 2% believability in what they did, and less than 2%, let me admit. So it just went around 1.5%, though what I believe in. But the fact
I will not state my position here because I want to go back there, so they will not say, oh, you see, you have ability. So I will not state my position here.
No, I'm not going there. So you so I'm not going there. So, for me, I have a less than 1.5% believability in what basically I saw. And that's good. We all believe in, I believe in African traditional relations. So let nobody get me wrong. I actually believe in African traditional relations. I studied ATR in school, so I understand how it works. We all grew up in it. But modernization have taken over, and we have to do things modern way. Even the Europeans, the Americans that come to us and say, pull away your tradition, they do have that traditional culture to practice, and they uphold them in the good faith. And for me, I always kick against part of our tradition that is immune. For me, I always kick against that lacks some level of transparency and accountability in it. But the good part, like for example, the last time you went to, I think, Looking Town where the traditional people were facing the road with their hands. That's
I ain't go there with I met you. I went there and they grabbed me. They said you gonna pay 5,000.
Okay. So I saw that. I'll be bit impressed with the kind of work they were doing there, and that's the beauty part of our culture. Yes, it always helps to instill law and order, but again, randomly accusing people and then breaking other people performing other stuff in the name of Sasaru and love stalking and all these different things. This is where my 1.5% believability comes in.
Yes, Gabriel, it's true. You know, we actually took the risk. Let me just tell you how we got there yesterday. We have actually gone to Cestus to do a piece of work as per our TOR. And then while we were talking in one of the offices in Cestus, and then the issue of that came up, and I said, oh, but we discussed this last night on our show, and then I said we would have followed up today. So since we're here, we're gonna go. So we went there, and like you said, the entire place crowded up. We saw some of the traditional guys on the main street and was like saying, you have to slow down, you have to take time, how you going, and blah, blah, blah. So we went further down, we stopped, and I saw one of my uncles, you know, he came to me when I got down from the bike, and he said, I said, I want to go over there. Then he said, oh, come. I'm the one I'm carrying you there. And I was like, no, I know you're my uncle. I know you can carry me there, but no. I want somebody different. So he
Eric,
called another person.
Eric, let me just read a bit. I don't trust my relatives when it comes to traditional issues. Let me tell you a short story. There was a year ago, I went to my village, my parental home in Puerto for how you call it, inauguration day. And then some of my uncles said the background I come from is a whole traditional family. So it was time for me to be admitted in the culture and tradition at that particular point of time. I look at my dad look at me and say, he said, no, my dad wanted to like come in defense, you know, with I have to use my sociology method so that I could deal with them. So we talked a bit and said, okay, no happy. I'm a big boy, like you people say in the culture, my traditional knee is a very big knee. So I don't just have to come like this. So let me get it prepared, then we'll have a whole festival on the issue in it. So I just gave them small tea and I left that place. I'm never going there again for more than 2 years, sorry. So that was the kind of technique I use. So I really don't trust them when my own relative comes to.
Yeah, so when he said I'm the one carrying, I said no, go and call somebody different. And he went and called another person. Again, that person having to be all of us uncle. He who came for me first, and I said the person is our uncle too. So I said no. So this time around, he went and told Chief Kofi's side and said, "Oh, Eric Obado is over there. He wants to come." And he said, "Let him come." So I had the courage, and then I followed him. We entered the crowd, and I went straight to Kofi. I was still afraid, but then he said, "Oh, you're welcome." Then he called the I don't want to CISO or the herbalist or whatever position she had, and call her. And then he introduced me and said, "This is our journalist. Anything that happens to him here, the whole world will know." And I don't want to be the one to tell you. So she was like, "Okay, you are welcome. You're welcome. And you can go ahead and do your work." And because I wanted to be on the safe side, and then I asked and said, "Can I turn my camera on?" And they were like, yeah, you can do that. You can do that. Then I said, "Okay, but then I got you." So that's how, I started. But there was this guy who kept, threatening the people. If we go ahead, you put your camera on, you will collect your And I was like, are you kidding me? But whatever it is, yes, we provided the coverage, and yeah, that is it. So, but on the overall, since I did that video, I have received a lot of call. In fact, some people looked me in the face and said, "You shouldn't have even done that because you are spoiling Riverset's name and blah, blah, blah." The county attorney called me and he was like, "What happened over there?" And I said, "What is in the video is what happened there." So, he was like, "Well," he said, "We are in a gallery here, I don't know, in Nimba or somewhere. And then that your video came out, and all my colleagues, county attorney, they kind of talking to me that something is happening in my county, blah, blah, blah." So I said, "Yeah, but I'm not the one. That's what happening." And I just went there to do my work. But on the overall, I don't know, you are incensed. They said they were cutting the cutting tree down yesterday. It was getting late, and then I had to come because it was actually getting late, so we left. So I don't know whether they fell the cutting tree, but there are a lot of things that we have to discuss about that. Yeah, so this is it.
Yeah, Eric. Sorry, seem to be corrected. I've not heard whether the cotton tree is down now or there were some sources that said today they're supposed to do that process, but I've not gotten full information surrounding whether the cotton tree is down now or the way you guys left it yesterday is at the same spot. But I fully follow your conversation. I did a story from your video today. I think if you look on our page, you see that story. It was basically from the work you did. So
Thank you, bro. Thank you.
yeah. What really I got interested in is the issue surrounding the contrary views. You were able to diversify the issues, not just doing a normal video that some of our colleagues would do, and just doing Facebook. But why is the news aspect in it? And I really love the way you did. You went for the people who have a contrary views about what basically will happen. That's why you're being a bit scared, not to be questioned by the traditional people. But I think two or three persons you interview that talk about the cotton tree, and they said this cotton tree has been here for decades, and everybody play around this cotton tree. We have never heard any stories surrounding being a spot for witchcraft activities. Now a group of people came here, but then one thing I really admired in this app, they were blank about the situation that why is it that the traditional people who have quote unquote hierarchy of the traditional society, who have the third eye, who have the fourth eyes that they can see, they did not see these things, and at the end of the day, they will be listed. Because if you look at a particular list, almost most of the people who are quote unquote within the culture and tradition, I mean, let's say, including one of the high profile priests, Chief Boko Fizar. So they were like, why is it that somebody like Chief Boko Fizar and the rest of the people could not deter that look, they will be listed? And somebody will come and say they phone it.
Hey, caller, please stop calling Gabriel, man. This is important tonight, and we wouldn't have people calling him. But whatever the case is, I mean, that was it. Someone was like, "Hey, why would?" I mean, I'm shocked. I'm surprised, and you have Chico Fizar, you have people like Mose Maya. Mose Maya is the cultural coordinator or something like that. And then Kofi Zah is the head of the Chiefs and Elder Council in Riverses. And you have his name, you have one Paul Bodo, you have, I don't know whether it's the Paul Bodo that is in Yapatan riding his bike. He's now the task force, Moruba Union task force. He's here making sure to help the traffic police to regulate traffic here. I don't know whether that Paul Bodo, because that's the only Paul Bodo I know. So to have his name on that, on the paper, Paul Bodo. And it was surprising to know that the paper gave me the kind of pot, you know, the way that pot looked. And and to have a paper from there that looks fresh, strong, because how would I expect an old paper, very old paper, maybe dirty, maybe tuned up, that you will struggle to find the names? That's what I expected. Unfortunately, we saw paper that in fact, just ordinary cardboard sheet, and these names are really on it, and it says those to be killed. Boko Fizar, Paul Bodo, Mose Maya, Tato Morris. Well, but how come? That's the question. Because, like the guest said, the people who's supposed to make sure that this county, prospers, when they are coming to census and they pass by this cotton tree, you're playing darts and nothing will happen. So there are names of people that are written on paper, and the paper is under the cotton tree. So for us, what we expected was to have seen names of potential young people, maybe students, maybe business people. Don't get me wrong. It's not that we, are happy about that, but I'm not doing investigation. And somebody said, hey, the journalists in this county, somebody wants this to happen to them, so they put their name somewhere and we're going to get the names from there. I will expect that if that information is anything to go by, I will expect to see Eric Opadu on that list. I will expect to see Gabriel. I will expect to see Mentusula. I will expect to see somebody who has sat behind the microphone before in Rivers. But then all of a sudden, you don't see people, after you said they don't want for journalists to do any good thing here, and at the end of the day, you don't see journalists' name, but you started the different names of people who are far from being journalists. How can you reconcile that? Because this is a lady who said potential young people who want to see this place prosper, their names are placed on a paper and they are over there. So we even expected to see young people who died and mysteriously, and people still cannot get over their deaths. Those are the names we expected to have seen. Then, of course, we will say, oh, yeah, this thing, it has some level of truth. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying it's not true, but I mean, that's what. At the end of the day, you saw Kofi Zah, and, it's something to think about. It's something to, so, but whatever the case is, we are waiting Gabriel. Let me see whether I can get some of their video from yesterday. Which one is it? Let's look at this. So you see, that's the girl there coming with the bucket. That's the girl, the girl you saw over there with the bucket on her head. She's the person who is, if it were in court, she is the state witness. She's the one who telling people who is a witch, who is a wizard. She's the one who led them to the cotton tree. Let's show that again. All right, so that's there. So you see, so there she is, coming with the bucket. In that bucket is where she got a pot. All right, the country pot. I'm hoping whether the video of where she had a pot. So I'm waiting Gabriel to come on, but we had different scenes of the area. When they went to dig the pot, they said it was so powerful to the extent that some of the guys went unconscious. Like this guy in the video. So, like they said, the witch was so powerful that until because some of those guys who I don't know, some of the agents, some of the traditional guys, we got them unconscious and they were carrying them to their headquarters to revive them. Yeah, that's what happened. But we have different scenes of the area, but we are waiting Gabriel. Let's see what happens. But let's continue with music as we wait Gabriel.
Ay, ay, ay. Happy 26, oh yeah. Julian, you know, shaking. Shine, Liberia, shine. Shine, 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 Liberia, shine. July 26, it's Independence Day. Let's celebrate, celebrate, celebrate. Let's celebrate, celebrate, celebrate. Shine, Liberia, shine. Shine, 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 Liberia, shine. July 26, it's Independence Day. Let's celebrate, celebrate, celebrate. Let's celebrate, celebrate, celebrate. It's Independence Day. Let's think Liberia. Let's love Liberia. Let's build Liberia. Oh, it's Independence Day.
hearken to his command. It is then that we shall rise, we shall pursue, we shall overtake, and we shall conquer all of our adversaries, and we shall shout at last, the Lone Star forever, the Lone Star forever. Oh, long may it flow o'er land and o'er sea. This journey, Lord, never uphold it forever. And shout for the Lone Star battle. Oh, hell, I hear him, mama.
Liberia is going to rise again. Yeah, Liberia is going to rise again. So yeah, folks, welcome to the show. Is Front and Focus Roundtable, but we are talking about what is said to be a trial by audio that is being conducted in Rivers County. We were there, we saw it, but the Supreme Court or the government of Liberia placed a ban on that activity, trial by audio, to make someone to confess to being a witch or a wizard. But it's happening in Rivers, and this is something that everybody's like, hey, we thought this thing had been banned. But I have a concern, and I'm hoping that Gabriel will come on. I don't know whether they cut down the cutting tree today. If you are their ancestors, and if you have any information, if following the show, and you know if they cut down the cutting tree, please go to the comment section and let us know. But I know that cutting tree, I'm not living there. I'm not living ancestors, but I spent most of my childhood life around that region, okay, because we used to come from my village, my town, Wegatan. We passed through that area to get ancestors. So, and most of the time we were in Ketan. Ketan is a fishing community there, ancestors. Now, one key importance of that cutting tree, that cutting tree served as, or serves, if they have not cut it down, that cutting tree serves as a compass for local fishermen. Local fishermen will go fishing in deep sea, and when they want to come back on shore, it is that cutting tree that they use to come back. It's that cutting tree that they use to come back home. And that is one very important role, one key significance of that cutting tree that I know. Now, like I said, don't get me wrong, because these things exist. There are witches, there are wizards, but sometimes when you're doing things, I mean, you want to look at it from different perspectives. Let's agree without admitting that that cotton tree is where the people have the meetings, is where they keep every other thing. Yes. But Mayu is in the spirit realm. And you have a cotton tree that is over there physically. And you come up in the physical, cut down the cotton tree, and you think you've done something. In my mind, you've done nothing. Spiritually, that cotton tree will still be there. If for true, it is being used by the alleged witches and wizards. You are just cutting something from the surface of the earth. But in the spirit realm, it's still going to be there because you just see a cotton tree, but it's an altar. Now, I'm not saying that's what is happening, but if all of the information that they gave about the cotton tree is anything to go by, then you are looking at a physical cotton tree, but then in the spirit realm, it's an altar. So bringing power sword to cut it down. In my mind, you wouldn't do anything. You just cut something there from the physical. Are you going to dig the stem of the cotton tree? Hell no, you are not. You are not. Where exactly? Which part of the cotton tree? I mean, I don't know. So for me, let's forget about that spiritual thing. You want to cut the cotton tree down, but if you cut that cotton tree down, you harm that community, especially the local fishermen in that area, because that cotton tree serves as compound. I grew up right in Cape Town there. The people will go fishing when they're ready to come back on shore. It's a cotton tree they look at to come on shore. So
Eric,
today you say, oh,
intercept you. Eric, are you there?
Go ahead, Gabriel.
Yeah, sorry, I went off. The internet was like terrible. The company that was providing network to me at a particular time, I have a very stable network that went off. So thank God I'm back. So like you said, I just confirmed that the cotton tree was finally cut down today, and it landed on the house of another person, and it smashed that person's house away. That I was just told by a source that the cotton tree fell on another person's house. So what I'm thinking on now is that whether they will be able to build a new house for that person, or whether they will be able to get them funding so that the person can go another place. So I was listening to you just before I came on, Eric, and you know that we get discussing these things to say, oh, which is in that place, or witchcrafts are there under the cotton tree, they have meetings and all these different things. But one thing I'm looking at, the children that quote unquote reveal the names of those alleged witch or wizards. I'm looking at the overall future of those children, because one, we all know the story of Daniel Dokodo and his team that brought a little child here in Riverside back in between 2019 2020, and that child was a wayward child, all in the street, was sleeping any place they wanted to sleep, but nobody cared for them. So I'm like, with the stigmatization attached to this whole witchcraft issue, these children want their future. They're supposed to be in school. They may not go back to school because there will be bullies from their peers. The teachers will even be afraid to come around them because they are quote unquote all grown people in the spiritual realm. So at the end of the day, would the traditional people remove these children from the traditional and from the spiritual realm to be able to settle them back into the community and say to the community that look, they were unknowingly indoctrinated into this particular area, but they no longer there. You don't fear them. You can sit with them in the community. You can eat with them. You can play with them. So it's a whole conversation surrounding the future of those children. I'm looking at it because those children could be the next president of our country tomorrow. Any of them could be the next senator and representative. Now, we have gone at the point and tarnished, quote unquote, their reputations, that even dangling their future, they could be the next medical doctor that will save life tomorrow. But whether they will be in school, or they will not be in school. So I think we reach a point that this must not just be left with the traditional people, but the Ministry of Gender, Children and Social Protection have to come in because there are children attached to that. The county authority, even the superintendent office, have to make sure that these children are protected because they are the next future of our county. And all of the different CSOs that are advocating for children, that are advocating for human rights, the National Independent Human Rights Commission, they have to come in and see how they can be able to preserve the future of these children. So I'm not looking at the elderly people that are there, although they are human beings, but I'm concerned about the next generation, these children that confess the name of the elderly people. How will they resettle in that community? That's a bigger question I've been asking myself all these days, Eric.
And on our law, once you have not reached the age 18, you are not taken seriously. Anything you say, you are a child. And how can our people, a child that has not reached 18, says something, and the superintendent of our county will say, okay, it's true, go and bring people to, unravel these things and undo all the things they have done. That's one thing. And like you said, the kids are going to be traumatized. They are going to be stigmatized, rather. See this girl. Let me show you this video. This girl who is saying she's the every other thing. You saw that girl. And you parading her. Somebody said, oh, they did not torture anybody. Torture can come in different forms. You don't need to beat on somebody, but she's a person.
Psychological torture. Psychological torture. Yes.
She's been paraded. Carry her to the cutting tree, put her bucket over her head, came back and said the pot in there. She should get it from there. She should unravel all those things in the pot and all those stuff. Her mental stability. When I started looking at her, does she really look normal? No. She doesn't. She doesn't. What is the next step? Now you talked about the people cutting tree, the horse that the cutting tree broke down. I'm going to make my way there tomorrow, so as to talk to the owners of the horse and see the level of damage and see the impact, and let our people know. What if lives were lost as a result of that cutting tree? Why did that happen?
Eric, I've been wondering, probably they could say that these people who probably the cutting tree fall on their house could be quote unquote in the weak society, and maybe this is why they die, why the cutting tree fall. And trust me, they could link in that way. So I think this whole scenario will create some bad records in terms of our human rights or how we protect children, a human rights violation. We all know that we already been described, Riverside is one of the counties being described as one of the most terrible environments that children can grow in the world. And then we've been portrayed that way, and then we ourselves trying to justify the way we've been portrayed. Because Eric, trust me, today is that poor little girl or those poor little children. Tomorrow it could be your child. It could be mine. It could be anybody's child being quote unquote into a weak society and then being paraded that way. So when we just sit quietly, authority sit and say, okay, they are weak and let deliver them. What happens if, for example, somebody get agitated and go to their house in the night and get these children killed? And nobody know. I said, look, nobody will do anything because they already portrayed them to be witchcraft. They will not do anything. We saw that situation right in Rassex a few years back. They would you saw the video that came from Sino with the drowning of somebody there. You saw what happened with the little kids that were there. So Eric, there are a lot of things attached to the particular situation that I think in my mind that our authorities don't sorry, I'm getting to my Eric. I don't know what's coming on.
Sorry, I was kind of trying to get something adjusted. So, yeah, but I think we're okay now.
Okay, Eric, thank you. So, like I was saying, we don't just have to sit and say, look, okay, these children are wish or are wizards, and let's see them how it is. Let them go ahead with what they're doing, and because they are in the way society. Because it can happen to anybody. Look, what happens if that particular situation happens in Claw, for example? We say, okay, these people in Claw, they let witch business. What happens is these people bad and ninja people, they let witch business. What happens if it happens in Mowe? They say, oh, these people are boyo. They let those things. They let ritualistic purpose. So we have attached every district and territory to different camps of where we bring them in terms of our human rights violation. Now it happened few meters away from the government acts. So I think the president, for me, I will call on the Ministry of Internal Affairs to dig deeper into this issue. The National Independent Human Rights Commission, they have to document this. This is a complete human rights violations. The international community is watching us. Trust me, the United States State Department reports don't be so confused when the State Department report comes out and we've been labeled that way inside. Because they are following these things, they are following the conversation, they are seeing these videos, they are seeing the way the people are being paraded, and in a very primitive manner, in a modern society this way, and people in the street jubilating and saying all kinds of stuff. And for me, I still stand by my word that I just have 1.5% believability in these things. I believe these are just out to take money from these people, and these are just formal way of violating people's human rights. And Eric, we need to bring that guy. Don't forget, there was a journalist that commented on your post and said that particular old woman where they brought to be the
Melvin Seko is not a journalist. He's a teacher here at the Yapatan Public School. He's a science teacher. He's a friend of mine. I saw that his post and that his comment, and I tried getting to him. We are going to make sure we bring him on because he even came and inbox. Yeah.
So we have to bring some of these people on, because if you sit in the studio and say this, okay, these people bad, and somebody was saying to me the last time, Eric, in a primitive manner, and said to me, why is it you guys just develop Western idea and you don't believe that you are Africans? I would say, look, I grew up right in this place. How would I not believe I'm an African? But we know that these things can be portrayed different way. There's a possibility that, look, somebody can use Eric's face in the spiritual world. My grandfather told me that story. And the person can come to me, send Eric and I very close, and say, look, you know that your friend where you're on the radio every day, you do things, come on, he won't kill you. And he portrayed that way. And I just see him in the spiritual realm, Eric. And the next day, I get discharged to you. And it happens different forms of way. So this is why these things are not scientific. You heard what the county attorney told you, that the police were questioning. And trust me, the county attorney may have answered questions to the Ministry of Justice.
Mm-hmm.
You will answer.
Yeah.
When the situation was happening in Raxes, there were too many police officers that was calling me, and they said the police RG told them to dispatch a team to go there at that particular time. When that thing happened in San, they thought it was Raxes. So this government is not like, I don't want to be too political, but they are concerned about human rights issues. And I don't think in my mind that the superintendent and his deputies must just be sitting and looking at these things. They will be questioned. They will not get confused if the president have called them and say, look, answer the question, what happened in Riverside surrounding these things? Because the government is sitting at the point where they are on the United Nations Security Council permanent member seat. So all these things are human rights violation. They will not want to be in it. And anything surrounding any form of human rights violations, the government will want to investigate. Because where you sit, you have to protect everyone's right in the world. And in your own backyard, 2 little children being paraded and their future is over. And you think the president probably will say it? Because these things have been documented. These things are in the press. These things are in the newspaper. They're on the radio. Social media is carrying them. So you think that they will just say it? They will not just say it. So I think the superintendent must not just sit there and say, okay, are they authority already? And Kofi Sarr said it. That it was a superintendent who gave them full authority to say, well, go for people and can investigate the issue because this is a traditional matter. Traditional matter.
Sure.
That way. So all of them may be questioned. We look forward to it.
Yeah, so we have this different scenes here. We want to play some of them. We do a commentary because there are people who viewing via social media, so they're going to see the feature. But those that are monitoring via radio, we kind of going to explain some of the things that are happening. We have these short video footages, so they will know exactly what is happening. This one, I think, just a
you know what got me a bit loud? I saw them tweet somebody primitive, completely primitive. I saw them.
I want to play this.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I want to play this again so that let's know what is happening here. I don't know. Okay. What is happening? I think. Oh.
So, Eric, a few days ago, we were discussing on this platform, celebrating the arrival of electricity, celebrating the arrival of modernization, good life. Then today, people want to take us back to those days. Go ahead.
Yeah, so that guy you saw was being carried. There are like 3 of them. I don't know whether this is the other video, but there were like 3 of them. They had gone to the cotton tree and trying to dig out the pot, like they said. And they said the wish was so powerful to the extent that they have to, I don't know, they overpowered them and then they were unconscious. And that's how they carried them from there. And they had to carry them to their headquarters or wherever they were carrying them so they could revive them.
Eric, you mute. Please unmute yourself. Hello, Eric.
Yeah, are you getting me now?
Yeah, I'm getting you. Go ahead.
Yeah, so it seemed that there's okay, so okay, we are good now. So like I was saying, so the guys had gone to the cotton tree to go and get the pot from there. So when they got there, according to the information, the weight under the cotton tree overpowered them. There were about like 3 of them. So they fell unconscious, and then they had to carry them to their headquarters and revive them, and they brought them back. So that was the scene you saw there, and they were kind of, carried them. But that's something looks kind of, funny and something. So they who are they are so powerful, that they can stay to their places and say, oh, these people are witches and wizards, we're going to grab them. To hold that pot from under the tree, they almost died. They passed off. But then this girl who just a witch, they put the pot in a bucket, they place it on her head, and she was carrying it. It ain't do anything to her. I don't know how. I got confused. These are very powerful people who have come to remove these things. Then while removing it, they got impacted by the power of this thing, and they have to carry them to their headquarters to revive them. But then this girl is the one that is carrying it on her head to bring it so the people can see it, and things like that. But again, then we talk about the paper. This thing is, we talk about the people. From the onset, she said, oh, those guys, there are people, potential people who are prominent young people who want to see this place prosper. Their names are placed under the cotton tree because they don't want them to do anything. Now, they are gone there to remove the paper from under the cotton tree. For me, what I expected were names of, prominent young people, potential young people who have been fighting their way out. I expected to have even seen names of young people who died mysteriously, and up to now, people are yet to get over their passing. I expected to see those names on the paper. There's perhaps you would have some reason to believe what she said. But all of a sudden, you saw Chief Kofi Zah, and on the paper is written, those to be killed. So you saw Paul Kofi Zah, you saw Mose Myers. Mose Myers is the cultural coordinator for, I think River says, River says. You saw one Paul Bodo. I don't know, there is a Paul Bodo here in Yapatan, and he's a motorcyclist, and he's here. I don't know whether it's that Paul Bodo or it's a different, Paul Bodo. I don't know. And then he saw one Tato Morris. And I was like, but these are very powerful people, especially Mose Myers and Kofi. Very powerful people. How come you are telling us that first you said that people who they didn't want them to prosper, they don't want them to do anything, their names are over there. I expected to have seen students' name. Maybe a student or students who are going to school at the end of the day, they just drop for no reason, they are not serious to go to school again. I expected those kind of names on that paper. But you go bring one Kofi, and the paper, the cardboard sheet is as fresh as this paper. Very, very fresh. It's not something like, I expected to have seen an old, rough, different kind of paper, and that you were even struggle to identify names. Then you say, yeah, these people. But it's something that was freshly written like this. That's how it looked. That is the reason why I have to run behind Kofi with my microphone and say, look, that paper that I saw is fresh. And he said, oh, man, say, that paper there that yesterday or day before yesterday, they read it names on it. Can you imagine?
But
on the overall,
go ahead, Eric.
Go ahead.
Yeah, thank you. So this is my point. Like you said, these people are very powerful people in the spiritual realm. It's just like the same thing or Daryl belongs to Chief Zazakawa and say if you were somebody with raise rocks or what kind of wash, would not be as powerful. So we know that these people are powerful spiritually, and they have the possibility to detect the future, what will happen in the next hour. This is why they are considered as traditionalists and they are in the spiritual realm. We don't have the possibility. I can only say to you history, something that has passed, but not what will come in the future. So I think they're supposed to know, they're supposed to be in the know, or why the name will be placed on that list, or they're supposed to know what will happen. And these people don't live in the community. So what's the essence? Then another argument will be, okay, because they want to remove wage society from the community, this is why they want to kill them. So because that would be their argument fairly. That look, because we are
that was the argument.
Yeah, we are in the vanguard and want to remove wage from in the community. This is why they are off for us. So for the initial stage, these children that are being alleged to be witchcraft, they were not confessing the names of these prominent traditional leaders. So, like you said, for me, this is where my believability of that whole issue came to 1.5%. Because if this is, I'm not saying it's not a fact, but I'm saying my possibility of truth is 1.5. Why would these people be listed that way? And are we come to a point now that traditional people can read it right and will say
wishes and wizards.
Yeah, will construct a sentence or a phrase and list these people with no misspell in their names. So sorry to say, it's in the spiritual realm. We're not there, but I think
and most of that area they use DRC. They use DRC pen to do the writing.
DRP.
I thought they would have used some kind of charcoal like something, you know. We expected to have seen some black kind of, you know, ink, and, you know, and that, but that pen, I know they went to sell stuff, they bought a pen, and they just told some kind of cardboard sheet. Is that already? But let's follow this scene, and yeah, let's follow this scene. Okay, this is one of it.
So I want
that was
Eric, let me ask you. The leg girl, I saw the leg girl, but who the other bright girl saw the leg girl moving like that? Let's see moving to so that in the game.
That's some of the followers of the Chiso or Morocco. Those are her followers. She came with some young girls who were dressed in fashion manner, and now she was the only person that had on that traditional attire. But I mean, just look at the. Let me see this one. So those are the ones who share the wastewater power, they pass off, they carry them to go to battle.
Hold on a minute, with that. They bring it into life.
Yeah, they pass off, they die. They feed.
I thought when somebody feed, it's going to be watching them suspension.
No, they carry them to the traditional hospital. That's the girl, and that's the bucket. Yeah,
I'm so basically concerned. For me, I'm not concerned about the adults that are basically being accused in this issue, because they are adults that can handle the situation. Some of them already don't have future no longer, but I'm concerned about that little girl. You can see the threatening spirit in her already. You can see that psychologically she's not up to task. It will take that little child years to be rehabilitated. She needs a good psychiatry, because there are a lot of different things around her. You can see the way they cut her hair, they treat her almost like a prostitute and all these different things. You see how she looked at. I'm looking at the video. Anytime you play the video, it plays on my mind to a mate that this could be my child, this could be anybody's child that's being paraded that way. So I don't know. Look, Eric, trust me, was this kind of situation happening? If somebody wanted to Eric, that one I want. Your dancing culture. After Ambassador Judy Andy, I thought I was watching Ambassador Judy Andy, that particular one you play. But Eric, let's take some call because we have less time on the show tonight.
Yeah.
Just providing our own views about the situation. But let's take some call. Let me see if I can activate this.
So you can also go to the comment section. You know, those of you in the comment section, it's good that you are there. But now I'm following from Cestus. This is not a discussion. We are not asking for your location, man. We're discussing issue. You're monitoring from Cestus. We know that you are monitoring from Cestus. But even if you have told us that you are monitoring us from Cestus, tell us what is your thought. Let's know what's your thought. You see? Thank you, Mongoje Princess Soma. Somebody said, yeah, Lincoln said, I'm following from Cestus. And she said, nobody asking for your location.
Eric, you know, let me announce the number before 055743900077639. Let me pick up this story and see what I can get the number very well. 0557439000776309132 are the numbers. 05557439000 or 0776309132 are the numbers. So you can say your side, what you have to say about the topic on the discussion tonight on the show. But before we just take our callers, as we're with our callers, let me admit this issue will going to affect us on a negative standpoint. In terms of some of us who can already go from country to country, we already been stigmatized, some kind of way of not being developed. And I getting the feedback.
It's not from me.
Yeah. Okay. I'm still getting that feedback.
I think it's from you. I don't know because I don't have anything on here unless
Okay, I think it's much better. Yes, thank you. So, like I was saying, we already being stigmatized when we travel, when we leave this country. That look, this is reverses, these are witchcraft, these are all kinds of names being given to us. And trust me, Eric, anytime that we go visit one country, they will bring that thing. Oh, my man, are you all doing that thing over there? And I'm like, I'm supposed to be out of this place anytime from now. So I'm like a bit of a friend. I want to encounter my colleagues, like those guys from Lofa Nima and Bond. And I guess some of my colleagues that I will always they bring something crazy to you, thinking that you're joking on it, but this is serious. And with this kind of thing being portrayed, I'm very afraid of how I step out of this place. To admit, I'm actually afraid. So. We know our culture, and one thing I want to say here tonight is that we don't intend to dehumanize or de-associate ourselves from our cultural values. We are Africans. We do believe in ATR, African traditional religion, but the issue is that the manner in which it's being done and how it's being portrayed. For example, if this issue was being conducted in our traditional bush, nobody have an issue to go there. Nobody know what happens there. We studied about it in school, but we don't know what happens there. So why would we say anything about that? But the way of parading those little kids in the street, everybody watching them, and they are being considered as a witch. We're sorry about that future. We are afraid about their future. We are afraid that their life is in danger. Trust me, if those children were mine, tomorrow morning I'm going to sue the government, including the council. Other than I'm going to take them to court, and I'm going to communicate that to the various embassies, human rights institutions, that look, and my child is being portrayed that way. So I think everyone have gone in the labor war and see what is happening will always pity those children. And I consider to emphasize those children because I'm really thinking about their future. Trust me. I'm really, really thinking about their future. Most especially that little girl who went for the port, and the way she is now, you can see how she's been stigmatized. You can see how she's traumatized. You can see how she needs help, but the world has turned their back on her. You can see it from that way that she has no hope. She has no future. So the fact that you push her that way, anything that she's been in under pressure, she'll say anything. She'll confess anybody need, and you know some of those things they can be asking the children. So you think that Eric, you saw Eric for chewing your sleep, you saw Gabriel and all these things. And somebody who is at that age will have this. Yeah, required.
You just remind me of the question because I was curious to know when one person said DKs confessed people's name, and that's the reason why the superintendent gave us the go ahead to bring somebody. So I said, okay, since the person came, what did it say? And he said, yes, some of the people that they call, whose names they call, the people clear them, Morocco clear them, meaning that they are not witches and wizards. And I said, how? He said, Morocco said somebody used their faces. So I said, okay, that is possible. Has there been anyone who said, I am a witch? It's true that what this little girl said, or what the kids are saying, yes, I'm a witch. Has there been anybody like that? They said no. The only thing is that people said, we don't know. Maybe we were babies and they put us inside. So we don't have any idea of what it's saying. But if they say, yeah, we are witches and wizards, let them remove us. So I was like, how? Like back then, people are accused, and when they grab them, somebody will say, yeah, it's my doing. But in this case, nobody has said it except for them who said those children, those kids were the ones who said they are witches. But there are people who, all of them dead. And they say other people challenge them. At the end of the day, they say, no, these people are not dead. And I jokingly told somebody, I said, the people who got money are the people who declare. And I said, that girl, we're using her because we laying emphasis on her because she's a person that was being seen almost like doing everything. I saw who the person that did this, and she would say this person, and just like that, she needs a lot of help because according to them, they're going to remove her from there, and she will no longer be a witch.
Let me take this question.
Yeah.
Hello. Good evening, your name. Where you calling? Me from? Oh, sorry. Errol missed that. I'm still getting that feedback from you. Please work on that.
Yeah, so let me just conclude then. So what I was saying, to get that girl on her feet again, she doesn't need to stay in that community. They have to remove that girl from that community, maybe carry her to Buchanan, maybe carry her to Monrovia, carry her somewhere where nobody knows her. But again, she's a kid. She's not yet grown to be on her own. Because if she stays in that community, fingers will always be pointed at her.
Mm-hmm.
Riverside is a place, is a county where everybody knows everybody. She goes to Cecil High School, and then they bully her. She goes to Open Bible Mission School, she gets bullied. She goes to Pillar of Fire, she gets bullied. She comes to Yapatan, the same thing. That means she has to be taken out of that entire, in fact, out of this county to another place, and then she can start from life over. But anything other than that, I mean, like you said, her future is just gone. Her future is just gone. Yeah.
Then the question is, when you relocate that little child, who's going to take care of her there? Is it the government responsibility? Is it her parents' responsibility? Her parent, the another question would be whether the parent even care for her, because the fact that she's been accused or she's being considered as a witch, trust me, the parents will be afraid. Some of the parents will be afraid. Some of the parents who have a strong believability about these witchcraft activities will be better afraid of their own children or their child. So let me give you the scenario of the child I talked about during the early stage of this program that Daniel Dokodo and the rest of the guys brought here. And after somebody got missing from Cruton here, and they said the child confessed the name of those people who allegedly killed the man who went on the Atlantic Ocean and did not return. So that child, the child was here in Cessus, where he allegedly, and the child was not living in Cessus. They took him from Buchanan and they brought him here and confessed names of people who were in the witchcraft society. And they allowed him to stay here. Nobody cared for him. Most often, when people want to give him food, they will call you and say, look, tell us something about the witchcraft society. And he will say anything you want to say about whether he knows about the society or not. He will say it to them because he wants to eat. He wants food. At the end of the day, when he has done that, he will go beyond somebody's house and go sleep. When the person will go and see him and there, they will chase after him and say, oh, Mufana, you witchcraft picking. And he will be in the street. There was a time I saw that child. Look, they each and all took that child body. It was only the general coordinator at that time, Javi, who was providing little help to that child. But the Ministry of General as an institution don't have anywhere to carry children like that. And the man even don't have somewhere where he will carry that child. So every time he sees that child in the street, and just provide assistance at all he was doing. He just provided assistance at all he was doing. And that child was being paraded all around this place. At the end of the day, we kept the pressure on the basement administration and kept advocating for that child. Later on, they reunited that child with the parents. After 3 years, I think 2 or 3 years before that child got reunited with the parents. When they took the child, look, Eric, the trouser on that little boy. Everybody, people listening to me here, they know the child ancestors. That child I'm talking about. The trouser on that little boy was too up. He was a crazy person. Most often, I used to bring the boy here. One time, I brought him here and gave him some trouser, and I brought him here and gave him some cash. And most often, I used to bring him and talk to him. I did a video. I did a couple of stories about him. And one time, he told me that basically he had no idea about what the people were saying. They told him to say it, so he said it. And told him, I asked him, you read it in this? He said, I have no idea. Uncle, I don't know about that thing, but the people wanted to beat me, so I was just talking it. And these are things that happen to children. And these are things. And when they took that little child back, that child was already, but the child was sick. And you could see the itches, those rashes all over the child's skin, my man. Terrible. Very terrible, Eric. Ask those guys around Cessus, they know about the child I'm talking about. So my question now with the little girl, when you take her to another community, she will be similar to what happened to that child I'm talking about tonight. So who's going to take care of her there? She's a girl child. Even if she reached the age of maturity to sleep with a man, as long as John Brown got to know, like for example, Gabriel Sawa got to know that your girlfriend or that your wife, that witchcraft or that former witchcraft, apart from law, I already run away. You'll not see me there again because nobody want to die. So that's going to happen. And if she stays within that community and grow up there and become a true, no man won't come around in that community. No reason. It's because she being considered as a witch. They say, oh, everybody say, oh, you know that get story? Huh? When you want to die, go there. That get out. Be witch in it. So people will portray that person that way. So when we're looking at the whole thing, the whole issue about witchcraft, let us just talk it because we want to have a ceremony. Like for what I saw in that video and what I saw over there yesterday physically, when I passed it, I think it was a cultural ceremony, but was not an issue of detecting who was witchcraft. Because people were dancing, jubilating, drinking. And I understand that people are even setting a lot of different things there. So I think it was just a cultural ceremony that all of us was watching, but I really still not believe what was happening. Yeah, Eric.
Calling Gabriel, who calling the man? Start calling the man. The man providing information here, and you're calling the man. You stop calling him. What about?
Yeah,
I mean, that is
go ahead. Nobody call him.
The reality, and that's what happened. You know, and we think that something needs to be done about it, so that we are not saying what they said was true or not true, but what we are saying is, after all of these things, that's what I asked Kofi yesterday. What do we expect as a county? And he will say, oh, I will compile my report and send it to the superintendent. And that's a remote. I don't know. That's the main reason why we still have to go to see the superintendent and hear from him, because on the overall, trial by Odiu is banned, was banned ever since.
So, let me
see.
Sorry, I'm getting the feedback.
I don't know, coming from your family.
Yeah. So, Eric, this is the situation. Superintendent Zambia himself is a bit afraid. So, when the traditional people went to the soup, sorry to say, the soup just gave an order. I don't think in my mind that the soup who knows the law, he knows the consequences of these things, will just come and give order. He said, sorry to say, so. not being so rude to the soup, but the soup he said is afraid of gosh. So it's just like the thing where you went on that spot. Before you started switching your camera, you asking for permission. You was afraid. Even myself, I passed it. All of us are afraid of traditional people. So the super, any report they carry to the super will sign a report. Trust me, that's who will not hesitate. You will sign it. So at the end of the day, maybe the president calls the suit and say what was happening. You have to justify it to the president, but you will not hesitate with anything. You will not question them with anything surrounding that. So let you lead out that story, Eric.
So
Eric, just bring a video that I So
Kira, is that what?
So
yeah, this is mine. Yeah, Eric, getting the feedback still. Please switch off yourself. So this is my point.
When
Eric. The feedback. Hello. Okay, I think it is well now. So like I was saying, those guys that were moving south, the traditional herbalist, the hair herbalist, and you see the other guy is cutting like she's going for a wedding ceremony, or traditional wedding, and all these things are happening. So it's interesting, but we're looking forward to it at the end of the process to see what will happen. we hope that our land will be finally clear of witch and witchcraft activities, so that all of us can live in peace. But above all, God is above all of us. Trust God, believe in God, and don't believe in those things. Because the day you start believing in those things, Eric, is the day they start affecting you. But always believe that there's somebody, despite our sinful nature, there's somebody that's protecting us. So let's trust God and adapt a culture of modernization and reality, and stop believing in those things, because they are not scientific. For example, you go to the hospital, the doctor will tell you to take 2 paracetamol, you will get well, because that has gone to the laboratory, been tested, and it's workable. That is scientific. That if you take 2, you get well. But something that is of prediction, that is not clear, it's not scientific. This is why it cannot be proven in a competent court of jurisdiction. No lawyer can argue witchcraft activity in court. No lawyer. Go ask Martin Tumun, those of them who went to Louis Arthur Green, whether they would defend witchcraft in court, because where do we get evidence? So we must always defend issues that are practical, that people can see. Everybody can see it. That look, this is an ink pen. Everybody know that this is an ink pen. If this is a black pen or blue pen, everybody know this is a black pen. And if this black pen has been stolen from the studio, anybody, any lawyer or anyone can defend it. That look, this was a blue pen and was stolen, and these are our evidence. So we believe that we are Africans. There is something called ATR, African traditional religion, that do exist. You have the good side, you have the bad side, but we must not use it to dehumanize others. We must not use it to tarnish the reputation of others. We must not use it to break down the future of children. And most often, children are the victims. Most often, children are the victims. And we start giving these things courtesy. Trust me, we already having a situation that is terrible for our children in this place, that we're confronting ourselves with. We don't have to create another opportunity for them, or another situation where they will not grow up to be who they want to be. That any child can be accused of being a witch tomorrow, and that child being paraded like those little children being paraded. So Eric, I think we're out of time already. 7 minutes past 10 o'clock. We have to leave it from this point, and we have to take our bed rest now.
Let's say thanks to those who follow us tonight via radio and social media. We'd like to say thanks for always following us. God's willing, we're going to be here on Friday, even though Friday be more entertaining, but whenever there's information for you, you're going to get it. Let me say thanks to all of you who follow via social media. But what we will want from you is your thought about the topic on a discussion, and not your location. All right? Your location is good, but let's hear your thought. We know you're following us. Yeah, but that's just not enough. So, yeah, your thought. Let's know your thought. Let's know what you think. And that's good. And all we learn to share the video. These videos are there. And anytime you can reference them, you go back to them. And like we always said, we soliciting your support, because this show is very much expensive. Very, very, very much expensive. And we are looking forward to collaborating and making business with you. You have your entertainment center, you have your food center, you have your resto, like Toga. We went to him yesterday. We talked a little bit and he said, oh, we're going to talk about it. Lincoln Toga, even Opon. We talked to him and he said this, yeah, we're going to do that. We are talking to business people as well. And we can do business with you. We can carry announcement. We can do birthday greeting here. And just like that, this is a big platform. It's your own Riverside thing. Support it, okay? It's not a Gabriel and Eric Obadu thing. It's for Riverside. So support it. We're looking forward to entering agreement with you so we can run this platform. Thank you ever so much for being there. Thanks to you, Gabriel, for always being on the show. You are muted, my man.
Sorry. So thank you very much. And I hope to be back on Friday. And a couple of issues. Thank you so very much. And wish you good night.
Thank you so much, Gabriel, and thanks to all of you for watching. We're hoping that Friday, by the grace of God, we're going to be here. My name is Eric Opatu. This is how I would like to take leave of you. Have a wonderful night.